Hockey in particular has historically been very e-com oriented. And that was really because the retail marketplace was so terrible that the brick and mortar stores were dreadful in most markets. But I think people opted for e-com because they couldn't find what they wanted. So they lived in Kansas City. What do you do when you're in Kansas City? If you don't drive to St. Louis, you've got to go online.
When we first got in the business, we were certainly concerned that we would be cannibalizing the brick and mortar sales that we have, and you know, ironically, what we found is the e-commerce sales that we got were from the states that we had stores.
Customers that shopped in store also shopped online, and that our presence in a market with brick and mortar stores was advantageous to the web business. So people have started to recognize our brand. They've started to trust our customer service. They don't want to drive 45 minutes, so they buy online. And if there's a problem with it, what do? They take it back to the store and everything's okay. So I think it's going to be a natural for our e-commerce business to leverage the brick and mortar presence that Rick has in these markets, particularly in markets like Denver and Salt Lake, where he's got a dominant position in those marketplaces. We have had our Breakaway Rewards program in place now since 2005. We have incredible participation in this program. Those customers represent a huge amount of data for us over a long period of time. Companies talk all the time now about personalizing messaging to people, but we really have a big database to work with. And because it's such a narrow market, it's relatively specialized, whether it's lacrosse or hockey, relatively specialized. It's a lot of information about a relatively small area.
Any prominent business in retail today has some form of a rewards program. We have a frequent buyer program, and we're hoping to, you know, roll up those frequent buyer points and customers and have a seamless integration. But as Michael pointed out, I think they do a much better job at taking the data and utilizing the data that you've captured. Although we've provided you know, frequent buyer vouchers, I think the key moving forward is how are you mining the data you've acquired.
To use an extreme, Mom knows that Johnny needs to look at new skates this year because he hasn't bought skates for 2 years. So we should know that kind of thing and be able to communicate with her. And we should know what fits Johnny and what size he's approximately wearing and how much they want to spend and all of that. So that's our goal particularly over the next year or two, is to really figure out how to personalize those messages.